Hi, my name's Camilla and I'm a member of ICANN's Prison Financial Counselling team. Today we're heading up to Lotus Glen for the launch of our Prison ID project report. On our way up the hill, we'll check in with the head of our team, Sharon Edwards, to get a bit of a background on what the ID report is about and what ICANN is trying to achieve.
So the ICANN team have been providing financial counselling and financial capability support up at Lotus Glen for just over 6 years now. Whilst the demand for general assistance for mortgages and car loans and other forms of credit is definitely there, we were overwhelmed and somewhat surprised at the level of need around general access to banking. So that was about maintaining access to their current accounts, but also there was requests coming through for people wanting support to be able to open up a bank account. When we tried to understand how people had been operating without a bank account, often for years, they started talking about issues with accessing ID and how that in turn had prevented them from being able to open up a bank account.
Without ID, they can't open a bank account, therefore they can't receive, a Centrelink benefit to their account.
We were really keen to understand how many people were being impacted, and so with the support of the centre we started asking people as they entered into the prison whether they had had a bank account, were in need of a bank account, and whether they had photo ID. What came back was actually really shocking. 20% of all people coming into custody didn't have a bank account, and close to 70% didn't have any photo ID. That obviously prompted a whole lot of discussion internally.
Banking and photo IDs kind of go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. Those that struggle to open a bank account for themselves, they tend to rely on family. And sometimes this leads to financial abuse and family violence.
We were really keen to start to address the immediate need, and so we partnered with the centre itself, the re-entry support provider AXO and Queensland Transport, and to date we've funded just over 600 applications for adult photo ID. Given that we knew that the funding was going to be short term, we were really keen to see the funding continue, and so we then engaged Dr. Heron Loban, who supported our team to undertake research within the prison. So we spoke with a number of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander men about the barriers that they had been experiencing or facing back in community in trying to access birth certificates and driver's licences and photo ID. We were also really keen to understand what the impacts of that had been for them. So today we're actually heading up to the centre to launch the report, but really it's just the beginning of the conversation. We're really keen to engage the community and government to be able to draw attention to the issue, and then ultimately it's about trying to secure long-term funding for all people in custody in Queensland to be able to access ID. We know it's critical. We've already been hearing back through the fellows themselves, but also other re-entry support providers about just how helpful it's been to have ID upon release. It means the difference of sometimes weeks and months in being able to access essential services such as employment and training and housing.
The Prison ID report illustrates the profound impacts that getting ID can have on someone's release from prison. This is as close to Lotus I can take you. You can download a copy of the report in the description.